Let's take a look at a really cool rhythmic picking pattern. This is used by Jerry Reed in his tune called Fine on My Mind. And we are going to look at the entire accompaniment part that he played on his studio recording in another video upcoming here in the Fingerstyle Toolbox channel. But first I want to teach you how to just play the picking pattern itself, because you need to have that down first before you plug in some of the other elements. Here's a little bit of what it sounds like in the tune. A little bit of what we're going to get into. So I'm going to show you first the pattern with no hammer-ons, no pull-offs, nothing like that, just the raw picking pattern, because really he repeats the pattern and then adds a lot of embellishments on top of that. So we're going to take this E7 to begin with. So it's an alternating bass pattern. Your bass here, since it's a 6-string root chord, it's going to go 6th string, 4th string, 5th string, 4th string, even quarter notes. So here's the pattern. It's actually a 2-bar pattern. So it goes like this in bar 1. So we have index and middle finger paired together. Ring finger is playing sort of isolated by itself. Beat 1 is the thumb. Beat 2 is a pinch, thumb, index, middle. Beat 3 is a pinch, thumb and ring finger. Now the and of beat 3, just index and middle. Beat 4 thumb, the and of beat 4 index and middle. That's the first bar. Let's just do that a few times. Again. One more time. So that's bar 1, and I am anchoring my hand on the top of the guitar here. Right down in this part of my hand, I'm anchoring on top because I want to be able to pop those strings. I want to have some leverage. So bar 1, one more time. Here's bar 2. So we're going to go like this. Beat 1 is the thumb. The and of beat 1, index and middle. Beat 2 is a pinch, thumb and ring. Beat 3 a pinch, thumb and ring. And of beat 3, index and middle. Beat 4 is the thumb. The and of beat 4 is the ring finger. Here's what it sounds like. Again. One more time. So here's both bars put together. That is the 2-bar pattern that he repeats over and over and over. So let's just make a loop of this. Of course, if this is your first time learning the pattern, you want to probably pause the video or back it up at this point. Make sure you get each one of those bars accurate and correct. Make sure your thumb's always alternating. It should never stop. It should be going every quarter note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're pairing index and middle. And right now I'm keeping my ring finger on the 1st string, middle on the 2nd string, index finger on the 3rd string, and the thumb is in control, the bottom 3 strings. So you can also utilize the transcription here beneath the video as well. So let's just try looping that just on an E7. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just repeated that 2-bar pattern 4 times, I believe it was. So let's try the same pattern on an A7. Everything should remain the same except for that our thumb starts on the 5th string because it's a 5th string root chord. And remember, these patterns will work on really any chord you want within reason. And you just want to make sure that the thumb starts on the root of the chord. So let's try the same thing. We'll loop it a few times on our A7. I'll give you 1 bar count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is the pattern you really want to work on. First, take it on that 6th string root chord, the E7. Make sure you've got it accurate before you try to go too fast. Always pairing middle and ring. Once again, index finger's by itself. Thumb is staying on steady quarter notes on the bottom 3 strings. So let's try this. Maybe let's go twice through, so in other words, 4 bars on the E7, and then 4 bars in the A7. We're just going to vamp back and forth together, okay? So here we go. We'll go at a slow tempo, and then we'll try it a few times a bit faster. I'll give you 1 bar of a count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time here in E7. E7 again. A7 coming up. Back to E7. Okay, let's try the same exact thing a bit faster. I'll give you 1 bar of a count in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A7. So that's the pattern, once again, just repeated the same way. I did start to add in one little embellishment, so I better tell you what I did there. On beat 2, on the E7, I'm doing a hammer-on. Kind of a grace note, really. I'm pinching on beat 2, so 1, 2, open 3rd string, and then I'm hammering on to the 1st fret 3rd string. And Jerry Reed does this all the time on dominant 7 chords. He'll play the minor 3rd of the chord up to the major 3rd. Okay, all the time. So let's just try that. If we try on beat 2 to add in that hammer on with our E7, it sounds like this. The same thing on an A7. We can take, that's A dominant 7, here's the 3rd, C sharp. So what he'll do on that chord, often you'll hear him do this on all kinds of tunes, he'll play it sort of an A minor 7, if you will. And that's the minor 3rd, C, and he'll hammer on up to C sharp, like this. That's one little embellishment you can add. Let's see, what else does he do? All kinds of things. What you want to practice as well is actually changing chords a little bit faster first. I'll show you that, and then I'll show you a few more embellishments if I have time. And what I mean is that he's gonna, when he actually performs the tune, he plays one bar of E7, then one bar of A7. So remember, it's a 2-bar pattern. So what he does is he changes chords in the middle of that 2-bar pattern. So that's the next thing you want to practice, like this. Now actually he anticipates, so the and of beat 4, he switches to the A7, continues going. Let me show you that again. I'll loop it. So it's going like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. The and of beat 4 is where you got to switch to that A7. That'll be index and middle finger. Going from my E7 with the hammer on to an A7 with the hammer on. And what he'll do as well on the A7, you hear him do this. He adds his pinky finger, 1 and 2, 3, beat 3 that is, on the pinch, thumb and ring. He adds the pinky finger there. That's the 3rd fret, 1st string, and G note. So let's try to add that in. Here's what it sounds like. I'm just looping it. And sometimes I hear him actually pull off that string, I think. So I think he's doing this sometimes. I'm not 100% positive. I've slowed it down to about 5%, and sometimes it's hard to tell if he just plays that note or if he does this, a pull off. So here it is with the pull off. The important thing is that the pattern does not change. Okay, so no matter what embellishments you add, the pattern does not change. There's one more little embellishment I'll show you when he gets back to the E7. So from the beginning, so what I did is I played one bar of E7, A7, back to E7. So what is that, the and of beat 3? 1, 2, 3, and I move my index finger up to A. So it's sort of an E sus, E7 sus, maybe just for a minute there. I mean, not even a minute, just a half of a beat or so. He moves up that index finger to play the A note and then back down like this. He adds in another hammer on there on the and of beat 3. So check this out again on the E7. I'll play the entire sort of passage from the tune. One more time. Creates such a cool groove that he then sings over. So really work on from the ground up, work on the first bar with one chord. Go for accuracy. I can't really stress that enough. As much as you might want to just go to the last example I just played, you're going to be better off to take it one bar at a time, even one note at a time. Make sure you have it accurate. Try it on one chord, and then try it on a, A7, then vamp like we did. So pretty much follow through this video. And we're going to then, once you get that down pretty well, very shortly we're going to be working on the entire accompaniment part he played in the recording, which is just so cool. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. Utilize the video, utilize the features here within the channel where you can slow down and loop the video. If you're not sure about that, write me a comment. I'll show you how to do that, and utilize the transcription as well. Okay, so any questions, drop me a comment beneath the video. Thanks.